AE0YAK. AE0YAK.
All right, and good evening, everyone around the SkyHubLink. We will be beginning the Monday night SkyHubLink system-wide net here in just about another 5 minutes. This is KE0VH in Wheat Ridge. We will be streaming live tonight on YouTube once again, and you'll be able to follow that by going to the Nets page at skyhublink.com. Go down to the Monday night entry and click on the link for YouTube there. And I do know that I'm doubling back over, so let me turn that one off, and we'll get started here in just about another 4 minutes now. This is KE0VH. here, and there we go on YouTube. Good evening, everyone. This is the Monday night SkyHubLink system-wide net. We have this net here every Monday night to discuss amateur radio and other interesting topics. I want you to remember that SkyHubLink is not a closed system in any way. We welcome all users in the true spirit of amateur radio. Please remember during all use of this multi-mode linking system to allow 3 to 5 seconds between your transmissions, and then about a second and a half or so for key up, and then begin speaking so you don't get your first syllable cut off. Also, keep that PTT pushed about a half second or so after your last word. And remember, when more than 2 people are using the repeaters at the same time, please do set up a rotation so that you won't be doubling over the other parties in a roundtable discussion. And remember, when you're on SkyHubLink, you're on many repeaters and modes simultaneously. Good amateur operating practice is remembering that others may need to use one of the many repeaters on the system during your QSO or join in your topic. So let me do a reset here and we'll continue on. Remember, it's extremely important, too, that if you're operating a hotspot on SkyHubLink, when you're in the YSF mode, that you do not enable the WiresX pass-through. Do not operate your radio in WiresX mode to change reflectors when you're connected to SkyHubLink through a YSF reflector. However, do use the web interface of your Pi-Star or hotspot to change reflectors. If you operate with YSF pass-through and control the Pi-Star with your radio while on the US SkyHubLink reflector 92722, it can cause disconnects and link issues. Please do not use this feature of your hotspot when you're connected to SkyHubLink. We ask also that you do not kerchunk a repeater to see if you're keying it up. Please do come on, though, and verbally ask for a radio check. Kerchunking the system can cause link issues. It is really illegal as it's an unidentified transmission. Once again, to see if you're making the repeater, actually come on and ask for a radio check. Please, too, when you monitor the system, if you hear someone ask for that radio check, please do be sure to respond. Let me break. Okay, SkyHubLink, remember, too, is here for safety and assistance for any communication needs, including emergencies. If you hear someone call for assistance on a SkyHubLink repeater, you can call your local 911 number. Report that you're an amateur radio operator and you've just received an emergency call. Give them the details, and then they will contact the appropriate agency in the appropriate area. Also, if someone just needs to reach out for any kind of help, let's make sure that they receive the assistance needed. And with that, is there any emergency traffic needed at this time? All right. This is a controlled net. All must check in to be recognized by NCS. Now, we've been playing with a couple of odds and ends here. And, guys, I'm going to take radio check-ins first. And I'm going to do it basically digital and analog. Then I'm going to cover some of the material that we're going to do this evening. We will take our repeater owners and system operators checking in first. Then we'll take check-ins, once again, digital or analog. I will look at you. If you're in the AIM window, Cat, we'll be putting you on NetLogger in that. But I'm going to take the radio check-ins as priority because first and foremost, above everything else, this is a radio, amateur radio net. So I will be doing it in that order, and let's see how that works tonight. If you're listening on the internet stream, you can text me with your name, location, and call sign if you'd like to check in at 303-704-3290. When you check in by radio, only say your call sign phonetically twice, all right? And please facilitate the system keying up. Remember that key up time of 1.5 seconds. Hold the PTT a half second or so at the last syllable so that you don't get cut off. And if I miss you, then please stand by for the next round of check-ins. By the way, if you're listening on the analog 449-450 repeater, remember it disconnects at about 8:25 for the Rocky Mountain Radio League Club Net. You can now listen in the Denver metro area on 447.050 and 447.1 after 449-450 disconnects. The PL tone for 447.050 is 103.5, and for 447.100, it's 114.8. This is K0VH. Let me reset. Okay, I'm going to take this just a little bit at a time because I'm paying attention here to about 50 dozen different things, and I've got to try to make sure that it all more or less flows smoothly. So let's go ahead and get your check-ins now. If you're listening on radio, let's go ahead and get your check-ins now. First, system operators and repeater owners. System operators and repeater owners. If you'd like to check in via radio at this time, please call now. This is KE0VH.
Number 0 Kilo Mike. Number 0 Kilo Mike.
7 Romeo Juliet.
Kilo Echo 0 Yankee Alpha Kilo.
4 Whiskey 8 Charlie. Mike gained down over here on Fusion. We hardly understand what. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let me pull up there and let me tell you who I heard. I heard November 0 Kilo Mike. I heard AE7RJ. I heard Kilo Echo 0 Yankee Alpha Kilo, Kilo Delta 4 Delta Tango, and the Whiskey 8 station. And your comments there, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me check with Kat. W0KPH. Kat, are you hearing me okay down in Pueblo?
It's coming in a little hot, Jack, and makes it quite breathy. So your audio's been better in the past. W0KPH.
Okay, very good, very good. I may have had it a little too hot. Well, let's see. There we go. May have had it a little too hot. How's that? Is that better?
You could probably tone it down another notch.
All right, then we'll bring that down a little bit as well, and that level is okay there. All right, we'll run with that. And I just spilled water over everything. Live radio, and there you go. All right, the Whiskey 8 station. Will you come back one more time? I did not get your full call sign. Remember to give it to me phonetically twice, please.
Whiskey 8 Charlie Sierra X-ray. Whiskey 8 Charlie Sierra X-ray. Yeah, is it hot over here? It's real hard to understand you, but go ahead and continue. Thank you, sir. W8CSX.
Okay, I'll pop the mic gain down a little bit on the radio too. Maybe that'll help there. All right, very good. Let's see. All right, I see that we have some other guys checked in on NetLogger here through the AIM window. Guys, I'm going to do a bit of a presentation tonight on PyStar. Let's see. I'm going to bring that up to where you can see the NetLogger and bring that down. So KB2IDX, VK2DY, K5TPK, VK3HJQ, ZL2 Bravo Echo Zulu, KF0CZN, KI0AR. Good evening, Burnus, and KE0TPW. All right, we've got you in there on the AIM window, and you should have been able to see that. All right, guys, tonight what we're going to talk about is a couple of things. First of all, a couple of announcements. 447-200 is on the air now. Wires X, digital C4FM down in Pueblo. It is not at this time connected to SkyHubLink. We're working on that, but it is on the air and covering very well down in the Pueblo area from Baculite Mesa. Thanks to Gary in C2WX, Bucky, W0SUN. And Earl and Kat down there for getting that all together and getting that repeater on the air. We're working on the basically the opening of the ports that needs to be done on the router down at where our network is linked into the internet. And we'll have that done here just as soon as we can. So we'll let you know about that. 447.100 is on the air from Mount Chief, covering Denver Metro, north to Fort Collins, south past Castle Rock, and out east, who knows how far. Anyway, 447.100, the new PL up there is 114.8, and that is also going to be on with severe weather, so that you guys here in Denver who want to monitor the severe weather stuff by radio will have that opportunity. So let me reset. This is K0VH. All right, so many of us, of course, are operating the Pi-Star software. This is K0VH with the Monday Night SkyHubLink Monday Night Net. Kat, one more audio check here real quick. Does everything... Wait a minute, I'm not on. I've got to remember to press that. Kat, let me do one more check with you, audio-wise, over the radio. Is that better? Do things sound a little bit better over the radio there? Go ahead.
Negative. It's still kind of raspy and loud. So not much better. W0 KPH.
Wow, very interesting. All right, let's try that. I brought the mic gain down on the radio from the board feed there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How's that?
The volume is good. Still have a rather breathy sound to it.
All right, I may have to do some more on the audio compressor over there, but I can't do that while I'm doing the net. So we'll try to take care of that. All right, good evening, everyone. Let's go ahead and go through tonight's presentation. Those of you who are driving around, listen up. This will be interesting. Are you operating a Pi-Star software? I was going to show you guys this real quick. Let me reach behind me here, and I'll show you on YouTube. This is my little hotspot. It's in a plastic case. It's basically a Raspberry Pi Zero, as you can see on the video, and it's got an MMDVM radio board on top of it, and it uses the Pi-Star software. This is my personal little hotspot, and I'm actually going to be using it as the guinea pig tonight for the video part of the presentation on YouTube. So we'll be doing that and showing you that. But I use that little Raspberry Pi Zero and an MMDVM board radio board on top of it, and that has really served me extremely well. So what we're going to talk about tonight, and I'll make sure to take some breaks here so we don't heat the repeaters up too much, but we're going to talk about our Pi-Star software, how to download it, where to download it from, and that's coming up on your screen right now. Let me go ahead and take a reset. This is K0VH. All right, so all you have to do is look up Pi-Star downloads, and it'll come up with this spot out of the UK. It's a really very well done website. And we're just going to go through this kind of quickly, and then if you have some questions, we'll go through the roundtable for those of you who may want to stick around for that. But for your Raspberry Pi Zero, the latest version, as you can see right here on your YouTube screen, is Pi-Star RPI version 4.1.4 that came from February of 22. Actually, that, I just did this page tonight. Let's see here. Let me make sure that that's correct. Yeah, that's the latest version. And then they'll do updates. And if somebody wants to correct me later, you can. So anyway, 4.1.5, and as I switch over to my actual Pi Star that I have running here, and I've got to make sure to bring up the right screen for that. Let me see. There we go. That one, this one. You can see that we're at version 4.1.6, and you get that by updating. Let me reset. This is K0VH. So what we're going to do this evening is show you very briefly the download. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you'll want to download whatever their latest version here is, which at this point says RPI 4.1.5, 30 October 2021. So you're just simply going to click on that, and it will download it into your browser as you would do any other download. And then what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to burn that onto your SD card. And normally you want to use a higher speed memory card. These are about $11 a pop off of Amazon or anywhere that you want to get your SD card. And you do want to use the high speed ones. You don't want to use some of your old ones. I would make sure that it's at least 16 gig. But you'll want to use that for your Pi Star download. So here we go. Let me bring this screen back up just really quick there. All right. So once again, you're going to download that. It's going to be downloaded into your browser, however you do. They also do have a downloads page here, and you can click on Download Pi Star, and it gives you basically the same thing there. Let me reset. This is K0VH. All right, so the next thing that you're going to want to do with your Pi Star software is you're going to want to use a program. I use a program called Balena Etcher, and it really works well for putting those images over onto your SD card. Thank you. I knew I'd get there eventually. So I'm going to open up Balena Etcher here on my computer, and I'm going to show that to you just real quick, if it will open. And there it finally came up. All right, let me transition to there. And so you're going to flash from files. So you're going to go wherever you have the Pi Star software, the image file that you'll download and unzip. You'll unzip it, and then you'll get this image file, and it will show up just like it is on the screen here. And I'll go ahead and double-click that. I'm not going to actually burn a card because I don't have one in here at this time. But you would then hit to select the target, and it would show up there wherever you have your SD card inserted in your computer, and then you would simply flash it. It takes 4 to 5 minutes. It doesn't take real long, and it also does an error checking and so on and so forth. Then you take your SD card and you put it into your Raspberry Pi, your Pi Star input, wherever it is that you have it. And you get that burned off there and boot up your Pi Star. Now I'm not going to go through the whole setup here as far as that. I don't really have that ready to go. But what I am going to show you tonight is how to go ahead and update your Pi Star. And this is very important. There's a couple of ways to do it. I'm going to show you the initial way, and then I'm going to show you the better way to do it. So I want to actually do this on my working hotspot over here, up to where it loads up here. This is K0VH with the Monday Night SkyHubLink system-wide net. All right, then. So what you're going to want to do, at that point, if you're upgrading and updating, I would check this every so often. The latest dashboard that I have is 2022 11.14. The latest Pi Star software update is 4.1.6. But because all of the reflectors and all of the DMR connections and all of that are constantly changing or adding to, you're going to want to do this if you want to have everything in there fairly frequently, plus just to check for the latest software updates they have on the system. So you're going to want to go then to the configuration page. It will ask you for your login and password. I really recommend that you go down here to the bottom section and you change your remote access password. Normally, the admin is Pi Star. The password in the software when you first download it is simply Raspberry. Everybody knows that. These hotspots are an entry point for bad evildoers, so just keep that in mind. You're going to want to change your password and preferably make it something decent. A simple update that you can do here in the configuration page is hit Update, and it's going to start and do an automatic update. It'll go through the different services here. It'll go through the DV binaries that it's going to upload. It's going to upload and change the Pi-Star binaries and host files. And like I said, things are changing on the different networks. So it's good to do this once every couple of weeks, once a month anyway, I would. I try to keep SkyHubLink's use of the YSF reflector updated every couple of weeks to every month. Let me reset. This is K0VH. Okay, it would have really helped if I had put that screen as I started it over on YouTube. So it's up there now. Okay, it'll go through. It'll update everything. It's starting the services, and it says finish. And when it does that, you're really going to want to do a power off and reboot of the unit. I'm not going to do that for the sake of time and demonstration purposes here. Just remember that after each update, you should reboot it. Now, there's a way to get a deeper update, and if you go to the configuration file here, and then go to Expert, and then you're going to go to SSS Access. It's going to ask you for the login, which should be Pi-Star, unless you've changed that. And we'll go ahead and put that in here. And then your password, which you should have changed. And I changed mine, so I'm going to go ahead and enter the password that I have for my hotspot. So let me do that real quick. All right. Then it's going to bring you up to the command prompt. We'll let that get there. And what you're going to want to type in at this point is sudo, S-U-D-O, Pi-Star with no hyphen in it, and then dash update. So once again, it would be sudo space Pi-Star dash update, and go ahead and type that in. And this is going to do a little bit deeper, as you can see from the last update. It's going to use a little bit more of the resources. It's going to download some stuff from some of the different sites, making sure that everything gets updated properly. This is really the best way to do the update on your Pi-Star software. Let me reset while this is doing that on YouTube. This is K0VH. Yeah, okay, I'm noticing in the AIM window, y'all want me to back off the mic a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to do some updating and updating, I should say, of the audio stuff here. So I'll work on it, guys. Just bear with me tonight. So the latest, once again, it's going through all the binaries. It's updating everything it can. It's rebuilding some of the files. You can see the following packages will be upgraded there if you're watching on the screen. So it's going to take it a few minutes to go through that. While this is going through, I'm going to go ahead and go to the top of our check-in list, which is Randall, AE7RJ. Randall, there's basically no net question tonight, but do you have any comments or questions for the net? AE7RJ from K0VH.
Good evening, everyone. Jack, I have no commentary for the net. You'll have a good evening. AE7RJ.
Okay, Randall, very good, very good. Let me go to N0KM. Dave, good evening. Welcome to the net. Do you have any comments for the net tonight?
Yeah, good evening, Jack, and to the net, N0KM. We did have a little rain here today, so it was rain and not snow. Have a good net there, N0KM, also watching on YouTube.
Okay, Dave, thanks for being here tonight. Good to hear from you. KE0YAK. By the way, Dave, appreciate all your help with the antenna. That got up and got on the air, and Leadville's on the air with that antenna now. We've still got to get it connected into SkyHubLink, but Leadville is on the air. Let's see, KE0YAK, you are next on the list here. Good evening and welcome to the net. Thanks for hollering at us, James. Go ahead.
Well, what I like to say, I think those folks who got that Pueblo antenna up, because I can receive the Pueblo repeater all the way up to exit about 161 and a half. It works perfectly. I can hear it at home. I'm near County Line Road at Douglas County. I can hear, but I was transmitting on low power. I may try something different tomorrow. I appreciate all that you guys do in building this digital network that we have here today. So thank you very much. This is K0YAK. Back to the net.
Okay, James, thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate that. Appreciate your signal report on 447-200 up on Baculite. Hopefully we'll have it connected into SkyHubLink before the end of the week. I'm working on it about as diligently as I possibly can there. All right, Tom, you are next. KD4DT from K0VH. Tom, good evening and welcome to the net. Okay, maybe Tom couldn't stick around. As you see, we are still updating and unpacking and doing all kinds of stuff. So there might be a decent update coming here for the hotspot, which means I'll have to go through and do our into SKY repeater up in Steamboat, and also the YSF link here that links the analog system to the Wires X system. So very good. Let's see, W8, Charlie Sierra X-Ray. Good evening. Welcome to the net. Glad to have you here tonight. What you got for us? Okay, I guess John couldn't stick around. Let's go ahead and go through our AIM window check-ins for this go-round. Chris in Cape Coral, Florida, KB2IDX. Good evening. Welcome to the net.
Hey, Jack. This is KB2IDX. Talk to you. And hey to everybody on the net. I do have a comment, and back to the part about SD card. The choice should be don't buy those cheap ones. They will not serve you. I bought a package of 5 from Amazon, and it was like $15. What a great idea! What a bad idea! Right out of the package, the first one didn't work at all. I actually had to throw that out. It just didn't work. 2 of them have since failed in Pi Star. One was a Pi Star 3 and one was a Pi Star 4, so I do not use those anymore for the Pi Stars. That'd probably be fine for a radio or a scanner or something like that, but I don't. Make sure you spend a little extra money and get a decent card. I would tell you the brand, but I don't want to advertise anybody in particular. So, anyhow, that's my comment. Thanks for letting me open my mouth. Have a great evening. KB2IDX, back to net control. And by the way, Kat has a comment.
Yeah, okay, Chris, very good. You're absolutely right. Do not chintz on the SD card. You don't want to do that. Kat, go ahead, and Chris, thanks for your comments down there in Florida. Kat, go ahead, and then we'll go to Robert in Australia. W0KPH from K0VH. Go ahead.
Delta Sierra.
Thanks, Chris, for that. Jack, yeah, I do have a comment when you're downloading Pi-Star version onto your SD card. If you want to make life easier and you're going to be doing Wi-Fi, up on the Pi-Star page, go into Pi-Star's tools and get the Wi-Fi builder, and after you download that image onto your SD card, drop that WPA supplicant right on there before you plug it into your Raspberry Pi thing, your hotspot. There you go, and you won't have any problem with having to use an Ethernet. You'll have internet easily to build without having an Ethernet hookup. That's my comment. W0KPH. Back to you, Jack.
Yeah, okay, Kat, that's good. I did not know that. You know, I was hoping that we might have some other people chime in here and be able to let us know some more information. I didn't know that. I'll have to talk about that with you in a little more detail off air or something. Pretty cool indeed. Thank you so much, W0KPH. Let's go to Robert, VK2 Delta Yankee down in Caliville Ridge in Australia. Robert, happy Tuesday to you. Late morning, early afternoon there. Not sure which it is, but welcome your comments for the net tonight from K0VH.
Zero VH. Excuse me. This is Alpha X-Ray 2 Delta Yankee, and I'll explain that. Alpha, we are. It is Anzac Day, which is a day that we set aside to commemorate those that gave their lives for Australia, and so in honor of that, we are allowed to use AX in place of VK for the day. Midnight to midnight. So in honor of those who gave their lives for Australia, I am AX2DY today. It is 22 degrees Celsius here. Sun is shining. Sky is blue. Don't really have a whole lot to add to the conversation. I've never actually used Pi-Star, but I've got Pies laying around here. So I may give it a try, but I've never actually used it. So I'm just listening in the background. Appreciate your check. You're taking my check-in. BK2DY, back to the.
Okay, very good. AX2DY. Thanks, Robert, for being here. Appreciate getting to hear from you tonight, and we'll go down on down the list here. We'll go ahead and bring that up so I can see it. Paul in Wellington, New Zealand. ZL2 Bravo Echo Zulu. Paul, good Tuesday morning to you, I guess it is. Welcome to the net. What you got for the net tonight?
Good evening, Jack, and to the rest of the net. Yes, I'm a regular Pi-Star user. I have three hotspots running Pi-Star. One is a Pi 0 Model 2. The other one is a Pi 3B. And the other one is a Nano Pi Neo, which is not a Raspberry Pi. So there you go. Okay, I'll let you continue your installation. It's vaguely familiar to, let's say that. 7-3, ZL2B is that back to net.
Okay, Paul, and as you can see if you're watching on YouTube, it's doing quite the work. I had not updated, well, actually, I did update this hotspot just 2 or 3 weeks ago anyway, and I actually rebuilt it starting all over. But yeah, it's it's still going along here, and there's so many different kinds of units. I'll call them computer units, whether it's an open spot or a Raspberry Pi 3 or 4, or a Pi 0, or did I say open spot already? And all the various other kinds of little units that they're using for these hotspots these days. There's just a ton of them. It's hard to keep up with. Let's see. Next on the list here is going to be John. I'm sorry. Tom down in Salina, Texas, K5TPK. Tom, any comments for the net tonight?
K5TPK here. Hello, Jack and the net. No particular comments. I'm a new Pi-Star user, and so this is great to try and learn how to learn it because I'm still very confused across the board with it. As a quick audio check for you, you sound great on YouTube. You're extremely distorted on the radio, but I can't understand what you're saying. Anyway, have a great rest of the net. K5TPK.
Wow, that's pretty pretty unsettling. Let's see here. I'll have to change that. I just backed that audio down on the radio a little bit. Maybe it was driving the input of the radio too hard, even though I do have the level turned down on the radio as well. Tom, is that any better? Does that sound any better on that end?
Jack, it does sound a little better. It is still hot, especially if you compare it to the YouTube audio, which is perfect. I don't know, but you are definitely understandable. It's just seems a little hot to me. K5TPK.
Okay, Tom, I brought that level down a little bit more. Let me try one more time with Cat. As you can see, we are making progress in this Pi-Star update on the YouTube screen there. W0KPH, sorry we're having to take up so much time doing audio checks. I thought I had all this set. But is that any better there, Cat? K0VH.
Well, I'm listening on analog, and it's still pretty raspy. I think if you could back off the mic a little bit, and let's try that.
Okay, very good. We'll do that. See what we get here. All right, as you can see, the Raspberry Pi download is continuing on, and it's adding and doing a bunch of different things. So this was a really good time to do this little demonstration here. I'm going to try to listen to myself on the handheld in just a minute. Let's go ahead and continue through our check-in list here. Let's see who's next is John, VK3HJQ, and Talangata, Victoria. John, good day down under, mate. How are you?
What's going on? Alpha X-Ray 3, Hotel Juliet, Quebec. Special station for, I keep saying Australia, but it's actually Anzac Day. Hang on, what's my number here? 59006, and the time is 11:37 a.m. and 6 jet in the welfare. Yeah, just watched the Australia Day celebrations in Canberra, and they're streaming it live from Melbourne, just watching that live as well. And you guys are talking about pie. You only got pies and eating pie in your, in your stomach. That's where your pie belongs. Oh boy. Anyway, all good fun. Audio sounds a lot better now, Jack, than what I did previously. But you know what I'm like. I always complain about audio, but good to see other people complaining about today. Get on board. Oh boy. Thanks for the net as usual. Enough mucking around from me. AX3HJQ. Thanks, Jack.
All right, John. Great to hear you. Let's see. I'm trying to listen to myself on another radio there, but I think I've got too much RF there, and you're going to hear a little echo. So, yeah, that makes sense. Let me do a tone down there. We'll try that. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, we'll see if that'll work. That's a little bit better, I think, but maybe could use some more adjustment later. We'll try it again. I'll work on that off here. Let's go to Dodge City, Kansas, and talk to Morris, KF0 Charlie Zulu November. Morris, welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. What you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, once again, Morris. One last call for Morris there, KF0 Charlie Zulu November. Go ahead. All right, then we'll go ahead and go down to Burnus, KI0AR. Burnus, good evening. Welcome to the net. Hope to have a really good Colorado astronomy net tomorrow night at 7:00 here on the system. Burnus, what are your comments for the net tonight?
Good evening, Jack and the net. No comments tonight, just listening in a learning mode, I guess. I've never used any of the Pi-Star stuff, so I'm just kind of listening in and watching what you're doing. Maybe a project in the future. I'll work on that. I got some projects going on. That's all I got, Jack. I think we're going to be talking about tomorrow night. Auroral activity that was seen here in the Denver area, so or in Colorado anyway. So that is stick around for that. That's all I got for the net tonight, Jack. This is KI0IR back.
All right, then. All right. Thanks, Burnus. Look forward to the net tomorrow night. Yeah, I tell you, this has been one heck of an update here. It's a lot more involved and goes deeper than just your standard update there along the top of the screen when you go into the configuration and then the SSH access. And we still haven't done sudo Pi-Star upgrade yet. We'll do that here as soon as this thing is done. I will have to reboot this before I do the upgrade command, so we'll see if that comes up here while we're doing the net. All right, Burnus, thanks for being here tonight. Let's see, next on the list, let me pull this back up here, and then we're going to take some more radio check-ins. Joe, down in Colorado Springs, KE0TPW. What say you, Joe? Good evening from KE0VH.
Hello, Jack. I'm following along here on my laptop, watching what you're doing and putting the same thing on my screen. Is that download? Is that coming off the internet, or is that from your download? Is that coming out of what you downloaded onto your computer?
Yeah, Joe, the what you see on the screen there is coming from the internet and is going over my Wi-Fi to my hotspot. Yeah, it's been quite an update here. It's done quite a bit of stuff. So hopefully it didn't blow it up. I wouldn't think so. But anyway, the answer to your question is yes.
You have to download the software first, like you were showing that version. You download that first on your SD card. Does it take you from that, or is it taking it straight from the internet?
Well, the software you download first from the website, yeah, you do that. You get it. You prep your SD card. You install the software. You do the well, not necessarily in that order, but you download the software, you burn it or image it onto your SD card, then you put the SD card into the into your Raspberry Pi or whatever it is that you're using. And see, it's going through the updating the Pi-Star binaries right now, DV binaries and all that. It's updating the host files. So it's almost ready for me to reboot, which I will do here shortly. But anyway, Joe, yeah, it's a several-step process. But once again, that webpage, the Pi-Star.uk, does a really good job of explaining how to do it. And you're going to find a lot of information there, including basically a tutorial that shows you how to do what I'm showing you how to do over YouTube tonight. Clear as mud, K0TPW from K0VH.
I just need to. I bet you do the same thing to mine. I know mine's out of date too. But yeah, I'll just. W0KPH.
Yeah, Joe, copy that. Go ahead, Kat.
I think to answer Joe's question, if he already has the hotspot Raspberry Pi thing, when he types that sudo command in there, it's going to update, and he may have to do that more than once, depending on the version that he has, until it gets up to the current version, which I think is 4.1.6. But he doesn't have to download everything again. He can go through the deeper update more than once, possibly.
Yeah, Kat, absolutely right. No, Joe, Kat's right. You do not have to re-download something off the internet. Once you get the initial software put on your Pi-Star, you can go through these system commands and everything that I've shown you here, and you don't have to redo, reburn, all that. Joe, between me and Kat, did that answer the question there? KE0TPW from KE0VH.
Yeah, that simplifies it quite a bit. Said it's Pi-Star 4.1.6. I think that's what I got on mine already. But I'm looking at yours too. It says 4.1.6 is top on yours too. So I think mine needs to be updated. But yeah, as long as I don't have to burn anything and stuff. But I'll go to the tutorial. I don't want to keep the net tied up here. I'll go to the tutorial and then check it out, and we'll figure this out. Anyway, thanks to both of you for your help there. Appreciate it. KE0 TPW, back to net control.
Yeah, Joe, it's a big community, and, I knew what I missed here somebody else would pick up, and Kat's done an awful lot of this as well as some other people. Of course, Bucky and Doug can give everybody more information on the Digital Learning Net Wednesday night here on SkyHubLink too. By the way, you'll notice down at the bottom of the page now, if you're watching on YouTube, my latest dashboard is 2022-11-14. I think that's probably the latest, but we're going to go ahead and do this sudo Pi-Star with no hyphen in it, P-I-S-T-A-R, and then hyphen or dash upgrade. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this and see what this does for the system here tonight. Okay, it says you're already running the latest version. Upgrade process complete. Syncing disk cache before making the disk read only, and it's all finished. So there was nothing else to do there. So at this time, you can go ahead and type in exit, and it logs out. It takes care of the mounting, and the session is closed. And you can go ahead and go back up here. And at this time, I would go ahead and do a reboot of the system. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to go back to configuration, and I'm going to do a power off. So I'm going to let it completely shut down, and we'll let this shut down, and then I will go ahead and in just a moment we'll go ahead and reboot, hard reboot the Pi-Star there. All right, let's go ahead and take another round of check-ins. I want to get digital this time, then I'll pick up some analog, and we'll go from there. And, Kat, if we have anybody else that is checking in via the AIM window, if I can find my mouse here. And there we go. We'll see who else we get checked in here. Well, I see a whole bunch of people down there at the bottom. They came in through the AIM window as well. Well, got to get some radio check-ins here. If you're digital and would like to check in via radio, please call now with your call sign phonetically twice. This is K0VH.
Kilo Delta 4 Alpha Charlie Golf. Kilo Delta 4 Alpha Charlie Golf.
Here is K3DS, Kilo 3 Delta Sierra listening.
November 6, Juliet Papa Hotel. November 6, Juliet Papa Hotel. I know you guys got me checked in through AIM, but I'm also on the radio.
So Yankee 4, November Bravo. Kilo Yankee 4, November Bravo. I know I'm on Echo Link, but I don't know where else to check in here with the list. You had digital and analog. Not sure where Echo Link fits. Scott in Memphis, Tennessee.
STM 100 on the other end.
Kilo, Oscar 4, uniform, Bravo, Bravo.
All right, I'll go ahead and pull up there and tell you who I heard digitally. Then we'll pick up some analogs. And the guy, coming in through Echoling's fine, wherever you want to come in. Kilo Delta 4 Alpha Charlie Golf, Kilo 3 Delta Sugar, November 6 Juliet Papa Hotel, Kilo Yankee 4 Victor Bravo, November Bravo. Okay, Scott, I did hear you say Scott in Tennessee. And Kilo Oscar 4 Uniform Bravo Bravo James in Fort Myers. All right, let's go ahead and take analogs. Analog at this time. If you'd like to check in to tonight's net, and then we'll round table with you and go to the AIM window check-ins who are left in there. Let's go ahead and get you. If you're on an analog repeater, please call now. This is K0VH.
November Delta Foxtrot and 0 November Delta Foxtrot.
Okay, I heard N0 NDF. Chris, good evening. Anybody else on any of the analog repeaters on SkyHubLink? Anybody else analog would like to check in? Please call now.
Yankee 3, X3 Charlie Hotel, Delta Yankee 3, X3 Charlie Hotel from Philippines.
Okay, I got nothing but a big crash of noise in, but I did hear somebody from the Philippines and one other station. So the other station, then I'll try to pick up the Philippine call sign. The other station, come back again. This is K0VH. Okay, let me see if I can pick up the Philippines station. The Delta Yankee 3, I believe it is, in the Philippines. Please come back with your call sign phonetically twice, please.
Good morning, hello, good morning, control, Delta Yankee 3, X3 Charlie Hotel, handle name, Chester, Charlie Hotel Echo, Sierra Tango, Echo Romeo, from Philippines, San Marcelino, Zambales, group of DX3 latitude. No further traffic, just want to say good morning to all. Have a nice day. 73, back to you, control.
Okay, Chester. Very good. Delta Yankee 3, X-Ray Charlie Hotel. Did I copy correctly? X-Ray Charlie Hotel. Is that correct?
Control, Delta Yankee 3, X-Ray Charlie Hotel. It's correct. Back to you.
Okay, Chester, very good. Yeah, you've got a lot of background noise. Your microphone's picking up a lot of background sound and a little bit difficult copy there. Okay, Kat, we'll put Chester in there. Let me one more time. Is there anybody analog on an analog repeater that would like to check in? And then we'll get our radio check-ins and then some more AIM window check-ins, and I'll go through that list in a minute. Any last or any more analog check-ins to check in this round at this time? Please call now. Okay, let's go back to the top of this list, and then we'll see where my Pi Star is and talk to Jason, KD4ACG. Jason, are you in Colorado or are you back in Florida? KD4ACG from K0VH. Welcome to the net. Any comments tonight?
Hey, good evening, Jack. KD4ACG. Back in Florida. I got home a couple weeks ago and getting ready to go back out on the road again for business. Looking forward to my next trip out there, though, whenever that is. Pi Star, yep. I've got a couple of hotspots. One for DMR, one for Fusion. And I also have a repeater, a homebrew repeater that I built back in the days before Pi Star, where you had to do MMDVM by hand. And I've since upgraded that to the Pi Star software. And anybody who's ever done MMDVM manually, you can certainly appreciate how Pi Star has simplified things for us. Would definitely like to get another hotspot, but it seems like the Raspberry Pi devices themselves have been almost impossible to come by. I'm hoping to find if not a newer Pi 02, perhaps somebody has a clone in the same form factor that uses the same cases. If so, I'd definitely like to upgrade one of my other units. Back to you. Thanks for the topic tonight, KD4ACG.
Yeah, okay, Jason. Thanks for being here. I just power cycled my Pi Star over here, and we'll see if it comes back up. Dennis in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. Dennis, welcome to the net. Kilo 3 Delta Sierra from K0VH. Any comments for the net tonight, sir? Okay, well, I'm hoping that that update did not crash my my Pi. Either that or it changed its IP address. I'll have to see if I can make this thing magically reappear somehow. It has not come back just yet. All right, next on the list here this evening is let me try Dennis K3DS. We heard you in there. Are you there? And then we'll move on to Jason down in Blanca, Colorado. K3DS. One more time if you're there. Okay, we'll go on to Jason. November 6th, Juliet Papa Hotel in Blanca, Colorado on the DMR repeater down there. Jason, welcome to the net.
Hey there, good evening, Jack and everybody else. This is November 6th, Juliet Papa Hotel down here in beautiful Blanca, Colorado in the San Luis Valley. And yes, obviously I do own some Pi Stars. In fact, there is a Pi Star that is driving the Blanca repeater right now, so that is what is making this communication possible. I also, and that's a Pi 2. I ordered all the repeater equipment from Skylar up there in Denver, and he graciously set up all the radios for me and everything. So all I do was just. I also have a regular hotspot with an MMDVM, hat sitting on top of that. So that with 2 time slots, so that's fun for that. And I originally got into all this with a Pi 0 running the Zoom Spot. So I have mad props for the Zoom Spot guys for doing the work they did to open the door for so many of us. So anyways, I will turn it back over to you there, Jack. This is N6JPH from Blanca.
Okay, Jason, very good. Yeah, your DMR audio is a little hot coming back into SkyHubLink there, but that's pretty normal. That's pretty well. I'm hoping that I did not blow up my hotspot here because I am not seeing it in the scan. I'm going to play with this a little bit here, and yeah, it's not showing up at dot 139 where it was supposed to. So anyway, there you go. All right, let's see. Where am I in the list? Next is Kilo Yankee 4, Kilo Yankee 4, November Bravo. Scott in Tennessee. Scott, welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. What you got for the net tonight from KE0VH?
Well, right there, Jack. Out here, KY4NB from Land Elvis and Barbecues. Good to hear everybody out there. And yeah, I haven't done anything with digital. I did get that Droid Star beta version app on the iPhone at one time, and it worked for a little bit, but never connected the Grandmeister, even though I jumped through all the hoops and the passwords and this and that and whatever and spit on my head. And but I did get into a few things with DMR on that a bit ago before that app won't work anymore. Yeah, I know. I got an Android phone. Maybe I'll try to get it all going on that. But yeah, I don't have any of the high stuff except for a Siri node that I need to get hooked up and play around with that so I could walk around with a HT and get into that. Otherwise, it's on this phone and seem to be working okay because I'm hearing everybody and hope y'all are hearing me. But nothing important here. Just some beautiful weather, calm, cool night, and sitting outside listening to the net. Thank you for taking my check-in, Jack. I do appreciate it. And Memphis and May Barbecue World Championship coming up next month. So anybody in Memphis, come head this way and go to the World Championship Barbecue Contest. And now my mouth's watering, Jack. KY4NB, back to net control and the net. 7-3's all.
Hey, well, all right, Scott. Welcome. Good to hear you. You know, I'm a Chattanooga boy myself, from Chattanooga originally, and good to hear you tonight on the net. Looks like you're coming in the Do Drop In conference. I would invite you to come into SkyHubLink directly. SkyHubLink.com has all the information on how to do that. KO4 UBB, James in Fort Myers. James, good evening. Welcome to the Monday Night Net. What you got?
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I was of course on the Pi. I have a Pi 4 model. B5. And just to reiterate, when you're talking about updating, I know, of course, on the dashboard there's that one area that says update. I'm assuming that it does almost the same, or going into the SSH access menu, which I guess is probably a better way of doing it with everything. I just want to make sure. And also, when you do the sudo update, it is read write or read only? I just want to make sure. And as usual, thank you, Jack. Back to you, KO4 UBB.
Okay, James, by the way, my Pi Star looks like it's coming back here this time. I cycled the power again. I believe when you start doing the update, it then makes it capable of reading. But you'll notice at the end of the update, a little bit later, it'll say remounting, and it becomes read only. So yeah, I believe it does all of that automatically. It would have to, of course, to be able to write the new instructions to the system there. So let me figure out where I am. And the biggest thing is my mouse keeps disappearing. There it is. Okay, let's go to Chris in Littleton. Chris, good evening. Welcome to the net. So glad to hear you tonight. N0NDF from K0VH. What you got?
Just very little. I want to let you know that on the 447050 repeater, the audio is missing big segments.
Yeah, Chris, sir, I'll report that to Skylar. Thanks for the heads up. There may be some problems with the STL link going up there. You can try 447.100 too. 447.1, it should cover you very, very well. And its PL tone is 114.8. Chris, you able to copy all that? Because you kind of disappeared there. Go ahead. Okay, Chris is not holding the repeater there. All right, guys, you can see on YouTube that my hotspot is back. Pi-Star Digital Voice Dashboard for KE0VHHS. I put that on there so I could tell the difference between it and a couple of the other ones that I've got running in here. So anyway, that's back. It's updated. It doesn't look like it really changed anything. The dashboard and the Pi-Star version are the same. So I do know, though, that does, once again, help to keep the host files and other things up to date. So now I know that when I go to configuration, it's going to have a ton, and I'll have to put the password back in it again here. But it's going to, well, I guess not. If you'll notice watching on YouTube, where here in the Yaesu System Fusion configuration, which is the mode I'm using it in, has just about I don't know what kind of load to call this, but it's a boat load, it's a ton load, there's new stuff in there that I did not see before. So that really did update this Pi-Star with some of the host configurations and everything else. So I would encourage you guys to do that. There's all the XLX reflectors. Don't forget to check out the XLX reflector, which I believe is 303, is it? For the Colorado Severe Weather Net. I'll have to look that up. I don't know it off the top of my head. Just like that. This is KE0VH with the Monday Night SkyHubLink system-wide net. All right, let's try to pick up Chester down in the Philippines, across the big pond in the Philippines. Delta Yankee 3, X-Ray Charlie Hotel. Chester, are you there? Welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night Net. Okay, I don't think Chester hung on with us here. We do have some other folks who came in via the AIM window. Before I take a final round of radio check-ins, let's go ahead and see if we can pick some of these guys up. I believe Gary said he wasn't going to be able to make it, but just in case he's there in C2WX, are you there, Gary?
Yes, sir, Jack. NC2WX here. Just checked in.
Yeah, okay, Gary, do you have any comments for the net? Anything you want to let us know about tonight? I have, of course, already promoted the new repeater down there, but is there anything more you'd like to say? Go ahead. This is K0VH.
All right, let me see. So you announced the repeater down here. Fine, mighty fine. Thank you much. We're excited about that critter. It's got some great big ears on it, doing quite well. All of us are delighted with it. So, and yeah, looks like tomorrow at least you might tune in the Colorado Severe Room. Reflector XLX303 Alpha. It likely will be somewhat busy. Jack, that's just about all I have here. I just got back from a Cheyenne Advanced Skywarn training. So thanks for what you do there, my friend, and I'll turn it back to net KE0VH and C2WX. And I'll catch up on YouTube with this net that I missed out on.
Okay, Gary, yeah, very good. We'll make sure it's posted up there, and at least by this time tomorrow, it'll be ready for everybody to watch. By the way, those of you a couple of weeks ago that may have worked me on the USS Alabama, I do have a limited number of QSL cards, and I'll hold this up here and show you on the YouTube screen, but I do have a limited number of QSL cards. If I worked you and you would like one of these for real cards, send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I'll be glad to give these out until I'm out. I've only got about maybe 15 or so. But if you would like one of these personalized for me cards for the USS Alabama, this card actually is going to W0KPH itself, this particular card, and the other one's going to Gary, NC2WX. But if you worked me on the USS Alabama and would like one of the real QSL cards, I will be sending out via email kind of a reasonable facsimile thereof. But if you'd like a real QSL card, send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'll send that to you as long as they last. All right, let's go to Carl in Laramie. Carl, if you're there, checked in via the AIM window, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar, Echo Romeo. Carl, any comments for the net tonight?
Good evening, Jack and the net. This is Juliet 7 Oscar, Echo Romeo. Yeah, I have just now, this past week or so, heard about this net and thought I would check in and what it's all about.
Yeah, okay, Carl. It's the SkyHubLink Monday night system-wide net. We discuss anything of amateur radio and sometimes other interests, depending on what's going on. And when I have something to present, as I have recently, I'll do a YouTube stream on it. And that is live right now if you haven't checked that out. And if you're watching, please give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. But you can go to the Nets page at skyhublink.com and click on the link there. And then, of course, it'll be up for later viewing after tonight if you would like to catch back up on it or some of the previous nets. Thanks so much for being there, Carl. Appreciate hearing from you up in Laramie on the Pilot Hill repeater. Let's go to Larry in Denver, Kilo Zero, Lima, Alpha, India. Larry, welcome to the net. Any comments tonight?
This is K0LAI. Nice little net. I have a Pi Star and I have an open spot. I use the open spot mainly for DMR. The Pi Star I'm going to play with. And I'm coming in on the Morrison Mountain repeater, which is right out my window. I can see it from my bedroom window. Anyway, that's about it. This is my first time checking into this net. I did listen to it last week. And I have a new FT991A, and this is kind of the first time I've played with C4FM, so it's kind of exciting. And I've met Skyler before. I know who he is, and very talented individual. Thanks for doing this, and this is K0LEI. Back to net.
Hey, Larry, very good. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you. Glad to have you. Check out SkyHubLink.com, of course, and get on our email list. By the way, any of you who are not on the SkyHubLink email list, go to the website and then go to the Join Contact page. And, Larry, thank you so much for being here. Enjoy that FT991A. That's what I'm talking on tonight, and it's my favorite radio of all time, without a doubt. Let's go to Boise, Idaho, and talk to Robert, Kilo 6, Oscar, Whiskey, Foxtrot. K60WF, good evening. Welcome to the Monday Night Net.
Well, good evening to you, Jack. K60WF, Kilo 6, Oscar, Whiskey, Foxtrot. That's Kilo 6, Oscar, Whiskey, Foxtrot. Where it's plus 50 degrees, I think it's actually going to be spring popping out over here in Boise. I'm very new to digital radio, so this is all very interesting. And by the way, your audio is just spot on right now. You took quite a beating at the beginning of that, but I guess that happens. And thanks for putting this on tonight. Very interesting. I look forward to more. So you guys have a good night tonight. Good evening, Nat. This is K6OW, Boise, Idaho.
Okay, Robert. Well, thanks for being there. Thanks for letting me know about the audio. Yeah, we got it adjusted. And as we used to say as a top 40 disc jockey way back when, I'm going to lock it down and rip the knob off and leave it right where it is. So thanks for being here tonight. All right. It seems like Doug, K0ATP, timeout for dinner. All right. Just in case he's back, Kat, I'm going to try calling Doug there. K0ATP, are you there? And do you have any comments for the net tonight? This is K0VH. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on at this time to Chris. Chris in Tampa, Florida, Alpha Delta Force Zulu uniform. Chris, welcome to the net. Any comments tonight? This is K0VH. All right, had a burst of noise there. We'll go ahead and move on to Charles in Denver, WD0CIV. Charles, good evening. Welcome to the Monday Night Net. Any comments, any questions? What do you have to say? K0VH. Go ahead, Charles.
Well, I started out with the Pi Zero, and I took the antenna and the head off of that and put it on it's a 2 by 2. So everything works great as long as it's hooked to the Ethernet cable, but I haven't actually got around to fixing the Wi-Fi setting. So once I get that done, we'll be fine. But I just haven't had too much time to do that. Been doing taxes, paying taxes, all that good stuff. Anyhow, lots of fun. Anyway, thanks for the net, Jack. This is WD0CIV. We're going to turn it back over to you. Take it over.
Yeah, okay, Charles, very good. Well, welcome. Glad to have you tonight. As always, my friend, have a good night there. Jay and Laramie, Alpha India 7, Oscar Foxtrot. Jay, are you there, and do you have any comments for the net? This is K0VH.
Yeah, I'd like to say that I know a lot about Raspberry Pis, but I don't know really anything about hotspots. So my first comment is I'm not surprised the Raspberry Pi Zero took forever to do a Linux update.
Okay, Jay, you were there, but you dropped out. Did you get a chance to finish saying what you were saying? I couldn't quite understand. You want to say again? AI7OF and Laramie from K0VH.
He came across on analog, but didn't come across on digital.
Yeah, Kat, I heard about, 2/3 or 3/5 or however much of what he was saying there, but he dropped out of all of a sudden. Jay, you want to try it again? Try one more time if you would.
Yeah, I have a quick question. What sort of mode can I use the Pi-Star in? Can I use my Dolphin? AI7OF.
Okay, got you that time, Jay. No, you can't use a Baofeng. I actually thought that sounded like you might be on a Baofeng there. No, you've got to have a digital radio, and I would really recommend a great digital radio to start out with, to start all this Pi-Star stuff with, is a Yaesu FT70. Excuse me just a minute. Let me take a break. K0VH. I was going to sneeze there. So, Jay, you're going to need to get a digital radio. I recommend going with the Yazoo using the YSF system on the hotspots just to get you started. It's going to be a lot simpler than DMR, and you'll be able to also possibly use a Wires X repeater if there's any ever up around the Laramie area. But no, you will not be able to use your Baofeng to access a hotspot because that's all digital. Jay, do you copy AI70F from K0VH?
Yep, I heard all that. Sounds good. That makes sense. I was just wondering if analog was an option, but it sounds like it's definitely not. Thanks for the information. AI70F, back to that.
Okay, Jay. Now I will tell you that an all-star node is a possibility as well. That might be a little more involved though than just using a hotspot. But that's how we link the Pilot Hill repeater up there into the rest of SkyHubLink. It's linked in over the internet via All-Star, and it actually has a Raspberry Pi up there with the All-Star software and the interface. So that's definitely something you could think about. And our guy Skylar, W0SKY, is a really good resource for that. So, yeah, something you might want to think about if you ever want to look that way. Alpha Delta 5 Juliet, Jonathan in Colorado Springs. Jonathan, you're check-in number 31 tonight. Good evening. Welcome to the Monday Night Net. Okay, one more call for Jonathan, 85J from K0VH. Okay, we'll move on to Jeremiah, KF0KIG. You are last on the list in Williston, North Dakota. Jeremiah, any thoughts, any comments for the net tonight? Okay, let's go ahead and take one last round of check-ins. I will do digital first. If you're on digital and would like to check in, please give me your call sign and only your call sign, phonetically twice. This is K0VH.
Kilo Echo 0 Oscar Charlie. Kilo Echo 0 Oscar Charlie.
Kilo Echo 0, Mike India Zulu. Kilo Echo 0, Mike India Zulu.
Kilo Golf 8 Romeo November Yankee. Kilo Golf 8 Romeo November Yankee.
Okay, I'll tell you who I heard that go around. Then we'll take some analog check-ins. I heard Kilo Echo 0 Oscar Charlie, Kilo Echo 0 Mike India Zulu, KG8RNY. We've got you in there. If you're on analog and would like to check in, last call for check-ins tonight for the Monday Night Net. Please go ahead and call now. This is KE0VH.
This is Kilo Bravo 1 Zulu India Romeo KB1 ZIR. Missed you on the digital call up, sorry.
Okay, no worries. Kilo Bravo 1, Zulu India Romeo, Eric in Seymour, Connecticut. Eric, nice to meet you tonight here on the radio. I see KC8 HPS is in there too. Brian and Aurora will go ahead and get you in. So we'll start back at the top of this list. Oh, KE0LNU, Matt's in there too. So I'm going to start with Matt and then go to KE0 Oscar Charlie and on down the list. Matt, good evening. Welcome to the net. Man, I'm glad to hear you tonight. How you doing, my friend? Any comments, questions, or otherwise for the net? KE0LNU from KE0VH.
Nothing specific. I am going to try and update my Pi Star tomorrow. I'm sitting here in bed ready to close my eyes, to tell you the truth. And I heard the last round of check-ins, so wanted to say hello. Battening down the hatches, hoping we get a lot of snow up here in Coal Creek Canyon tomorrow, because working from home. So, yep, thanks for having the net. Thanks for picking me up there. KE0LNU, back to KE0VH.
Yeah, okay, Matt. Well, it's good to hear you, man. Really glad to hear you, and want to catch up with you a little bit and all that kind of good stuff. So have a good night. Rest well, my friend, and take care of yourself. And Gary, you will have the last word, NC2WX. You will have the last word, so hang in there. All right, K0 Oscar Charlie, Tom in Fort Lupton. Tom, welcome to the net. Any questions or comments tonight?
This is Gil Echo Zero Oscar Charlie. No, I just scanning around here and heard the net and sounded interesting. This is the first time I've been on. I'm on Fusion. I have the Yaesu 70D. I've listened on it, but first time I ever transmitted on it. The only thing I got, I do have a Zoom spot for DMR. And that's about it. Nothing else. Back to net, KE0C.
Well, Tom, like they say in radio sometimes, first-time caller, long-time listener, right? Oh, man, it's good to meet you. Welcome. Glad to have you in there. Don't forget, you've got, 2 repeaters up there that you should be able to hit from Fort Lupton. And up there above Loveland, and probably even a couple of the Denver ones. So welcome. Glad to have you on the SkyHubLink system there. And be sure to check out the webpage. Let's go to Rob, K0MIZ, up in Wellington. Rob, good evening. Welcome to the net.
Right on, Jack. Thanks for having me. Good evening to everybody on the net tonight. Talk about your Pi Stars just a little bit. Mine crashed earlier today. I tried to power down and it got stuck listening. So I had to unplug it and let it sit there, cycle it off and on. And then she came back. So I was having no problem with it, but I think maybe it was caused by my internet not working as good as it should. Seem to be up and running now. But no, that's about that as far as the Pi Star goes. I just got done teaching my 6-year-old grandson how to take off in a Cessna 152 from Fort Collins Weldon Airport, and he did a little buzzing around Horsetooth up there before he crashed upside down. But we reset it and he started again. He does a pretty good job. KE0MIZ. Back to you, Jack. Again, thanks for having me. Hello, Kat.
Rob, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good for you, man. As a matter of fact, speaking of Flight Simulator, I got something special here for right at the end of the net if you're watching on YouTube. So hang on for that. Jonathan in Remus, Michigan, KG8 Romeo November Yankee. You are next. Welcome to the net. Any questions or comments tonight? Okay, one more time. Kilo Golf 8, Romeo November Yankee. Jonathan, are you there? Any questions or comments? Okay, let's go ahead and go to Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Papa Sierra. Brian and Aurora. Brian, welcome to the net. All right. And, of course, once again, these guys checked in via the AIM window, so they may not be hanging around. I always am going to give precedence to the guys who come in via radio. So next on the list is KC8HPS, Brian and Aurora. Brian, are you there? Any comments for the net? This is K0VH. All right, last on this list, and then we'll go to Gary. Eric in Seymour, Connecticut, KB1ZIR. Eric, welcome to the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net.
KE0VH in the net, KB1ZIR. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate it. Thank you for running the net this evening. No questions or comments at this time. Just waving a hand. Wanted to make sure you get me down in the log. Nothing new in the hobby except adding power management to my portable HF setup. I got some solar panels, a controller, a battery. I'm itching to get out doing some soda and poda springtime, summertime. As it gets a little warmer. That's the situation here. Everybody sounding good. Thanks for picking me up. Appreciate you. 7-3, back to net. KB1ZIR.
Hey, okay, Eric. Very good, very good. We have a SkyHubLink Wire 6 repeater in Orange, Connecticut. Wonder real quick, are you near there, or how are you coming into the system tonight?
Orange is about 2 towns away, and I don't have enough juice RF to get, hit it from here. So the setup is Yaesu FT70DR going into MMDB on the hotspot, and that's how we're getting in.
Okay, very good, Eric. Very good. Well, welcome to the net. We're glad to have you and really appreciate that. All right, 38 total check-ins tonight. Gary, NC2WX, you wanted the floor before we close the net, so I'll let you have the last word tonight. NC2WX from K0VH.
Thank you, Jack. Yes, one last comment here. NC2WX. First of all, I want to thank everyone on SkyHubLink. You collectively have provided the incentive for me to install the Wires X repeater down here, which is just working better than imagined. To Jack, I thank you so much for taking the ball, helping me run with it, working the coordination for me and all of that good stuff. And then Jack and Skyler, W0SKY, thank you, the two of you, for the exquisite tuning job you did on the duplexer. That's 90% of the reason the system is operating as well as it is. And I want to thank Bucky, W0SUN. I am indebted to you, my friend, as well, for taking 2 or 3 days out of your weekend life to help the staging and setup and installation of the repeater. And last but not least, certainly Kat, W0, KPH, and her husband, Earl, 2 more good friends who opened up their house for the project. And Earl, who Ubers me, has been Ubering me up to the repeater site so often. Many, many thanks to all of you. I'm indebted to everyone. Thanks a lot. NC2WX, 7-3, everyone. Back to net, K0VH.
Okay, Gary. Very good, my friend. I appreciate it. Appreciate all you've done and getting that repeater going there since we lost the other Wires X repeater down there, and everything you've done too, my friend. So applause and latitudes and longitudes and what was it Jimmy Buffett said? Changes in latitudes. No, that's another. or Cheeseburger Paradise or something. Anyway, thank you for all you did too, and of course all the backing that you put into that. So guys, one last thing here on the net. If you're not on the email list yet and you like flight simulation stuff, I am actually set up now that I'm going to live stream some of my flight sim flights. So those of you who are watching on YouTube, pretty soon you will be able to join me on the K0VH 737s for some journeys around via Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane 12, or 11 rather. I'll be flying the Southwest Colorado 1. I'll also be flying the Freedom 1 aircraft. As you see the Colorado 1 here at Denver International Airport in the flight simulator. If you'd like to get notifications on when I'm going to be doing some of these live streams, flying the aircraft and showing you all the stuff that goes along with this, and it's quite amazing. I'll send out an email to that, and hopefully you might be able to join me. So that will be fun. I'm looking forward to being able to share some of my flight sim adventures now via YouTube in the stream. So with that, we're going to go ahead and call it a night and wrap the net up. Let me reset. So once again, this has been the SkyHubLink Monday Night System-Wide Net. Thanks to Skylar, W0SKY Chief Engineer Jeremy, W0JRL, our system engineers for the work on the SkyHubLink main hub system. Bill Bucky Buckwalter, W0SUN, our WiresX engineer and all things digital. Thanks to the Rocky Mountain Radio League, the Denver Water Amateur Radio Club, the Denver Radio League, the N2K&K Wesco repeater system, Mark N0XRX, Randall AE7RJ, Richard VE5RH, Carrie N2K&K, and all the other systems and operators on the SkyHubLink. Once again, a big and major thanks to Kat, W0KPH, for spotting and logging. If you'd like to be on our email list, be sure to go to the skyhublink.com and click on the Join Connect tab for instructions. Go to my webpage, k0vh.com, scroll down the page for information on the net, the SkyHubLink, and my newsletter, the K0VH Ham Shack. So with that, we'll wrap up tonight's net and return all systems to normal amateur use. Peace and long life. This is KE0VH. Good night.
K0VH WF60 Mobile.